how we're going to entertain the fans. And then I look up and there's a red button in front of me, which means 2 words.
Let's go. Man, people need to quit screwing around my damn truck.
Can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh yeah!
Let's go, baby!
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on, baby. Good morning. Welcome to the Taco Championship Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us, and thank you, Iron Eagle, for that term. And congrats to the Florida Gators, your national men's basketball champions. A great run. We'll get to that. We got baseball to get to. We got the NBA to get to. But this first hour is powered, of course, by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. The Playmaker's the first to check in. He says, good morning. And the same to you, my friend. And congrats to your Gators, dog. Congrats to your Gators for the defense they played in the second half of last night's national championship game. We'll start right there. And I'll tell you what, man. For myself, sleeping on the Gators, how did Ron White put it? As
profiling.
And
profiling wrong.
Walter Clayton Jr. and the rest of the Gators roared back from 12 down in the second half and won the national championship on 2 outstanding defensive plays in the final seconds.
And that's the thing. You know, everyone was expecting this to be a high-scoring game because look at the numbers that Houston and Florida put up during their runs, and it came down to a 65-63 final.
Mm-hmm. 128 points in the final game of it's the final game of the season, the college basketball season. Men and women are now put to rest until September when we start looking at early predictions. They already put out their early predictions. I didn't even look at them.
This is
I
how
ain't even
a
looked. I ain't
championship
even looked
should
yet.
be.
Yeah,
This
and
is
I mean,
it's just this guy. And thank you, Victor. This is how a championship should be. A team that gets a big lead usually wins, but Florida said,
Florida said, "I'm not done yet.
Listen,
I'm not done yet."
the Florida Gators and the Houston Cougars played that championship game last night for a reason. That's how college basketball should be.
yeah, and I mean, again, you look at the fact, statistically speaking, this game numbers-wise was pure crap. I mean, you're looking at two teams that shot no better than 36% from the floor.
Right.
But it came down to the one thing that always wins championships.
Defense. 5 turnovers for Houston, and thank you, Wes Pruitt, who's going to be a weekly guest of ours. We're going to install him very, very soon. So, Wes, get ready. 5 turnovers in the final 2 minutes for Houston. This is a final four. Go ahead, Victor.
A lot of the elite teams that everyone projected was going to be in the top, nowhere to be seen.
Nope.
Because they all fell by the board.
Mm-hmm. And one we got to talk. One that we hopefully will talk about when we see Mr. Spivey again, being the Duke Blue Devils.
Listen, we got a whole bunch to talk about with Jay. I'm going to get him on this week. Florida indeed flipped the script on Houston. I'm looking in this camera and I'm saying Florida turned the tables quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
In the latter part, in the final 10 minutes. No, check that. In the final 8 minutes of the game, with Houston up double digits, Florida wiped it out and won. Walter Clayton Jr., congrats to you for being the most outstanding player. He was voted the most outstanding player for the way he played last night. He scored 9 points in the final 8 minutes, and every one of those points was key to Florida's comeback.
Yeah.
Every one of those points. But there's an underrated player on Florida that I love dearly. His name is Alex Condon, their center from Perth, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he is going to be El Monstero.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a monster. I believe his name is Alex Condon. Would you look that up for me, Shane, please? Shane's my researcher. Until I bring one on to the crew. Yeah, Shane's my researcher, which gives me an idea. But congrats to the Florida Gators. Congrats to the teams that made it to the Final Four. All number 1 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
All number 1 seeds. Houston, Duke, Florida. I forget the last one. Who was the other number 1 seed? Houston, Duke, Florida. Dagnabbit. They played them and I forgot who they were. Damn.
Hold on.
My brain hurts. Houston, Auburn. Thank you, playmaker. Auburn. Oh man. Okay.
I was gonna say Auburn too.
I gotta get off this drug cocktail and heal naturally, so my brain's not fogged. Thank you, playmaker, and thank you, dog, for that.
By the way, it's Alex Condon. He's technically listed as a forward, but yeah, he ran as center.
He's the 5. He's the pivot.
Yep.
He is the pivot.
Yeah, they ran a 3 guard, 1 forward, 1 center.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that game, like I said, came down straight out to defense right at the end of it because Florida shot 40% from the field. Houston was sitting at 35.
Yeah.
Neither team exceptional from 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you right now where Florida definitely outdid Houston was at the stripe.
Yes.
9 of 14.
Especially during the run in the second half.
Houston 9 of 14. Florida 17 of 21.
17 of 21. You make your free throws, you win.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Florida made their free throws. And the best defensive play was by Walter Clayton at the end of the game, where Houston couldn't even get a shot.
Right.
Dude,
Houston
Florida
couldn't even get a shot.
Florida lived up to their mascot with the Gator clamp at the end.
Yeah, they
That
clamped
Gator
him.
roll.
They clamped him. Okay, they clamped him. Love it. Love it. Congrats to all 4 Final Four teams. These were the 3 best games of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, period.
Yeah.
Because each one of those 3 involved a rally from a big deficit to win. Florida overcame a 9-point deficit against Auburn. Houston overcame a 13-point deficit against Duke.
Mhm.
And then Florida repeated the feat by erasing a 12-point deficit against Houston.
Mhm.
These were the 3 best games of the tournament.
And the fact is,
And the
defense helped
4
to win.
and thank you, Playmaker, for saying this aloud. I wasn't like too impressed with how the tournament was going and had the feeling all 4 number 1 seeds would make it through to the tournament, but all 4 teams lived up to the billing and to all the pomp and circumstance they put together in the Alamo Dome, especially with the starting lineups. The starting lineups were so cool.
Honestly, this was one of the rare times where all 4 lived up to the billing.
Yeah, they did.
Because there were times throughout the tournaments that we've all watched, and God help me, how long have we been watching it?
I've been watching this forever. I know that much.
How many times have we scratched our head at one of the 1 seeds making it the distance and been like, they don't belong here?
Right. Right.
All 4 of them belonged at the end, and they proved why.
All 4 of them not only belonged in the Final Four, but deserved it. They absolutely deserved it.
For sure.
How did Jack Buck put it? Pardon me while I stand up and applaud. I didn't expect anything, and all 4 of those teams proved me wrong, because I got to tell you, I was glued to my monitor.
Yeah.
I was glued to my monitor. My wife came in, God bless her. She came in, looked at the score, and she says, "Are you going to do a wrap up of the games?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "How are you going to do it? Are you going to write it? Or are you going to video it?" I never got a chance to do it, A, because I fell asleep, and B, she posed a very good question, which takes us to a break. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about that, and we're going to sit here and we're going to talk it out. We're going to talk about how we're going to do it for snowman-media.com. That's next. Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, No, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
You know, before we get further going, because I know who we got sitting in the wings here, our mutual friend, our little queen of Taika, is currently live on Twitch. She just went live. So
Really?
when we get done here, everybody, make sure you give Miss Genevieve Yoso on Twitch at Genevieve_Yoso a follow and see how she's doing on Minecraft. She's in a special server right now doing some building. So
nice.
Make sure y'all check her out and tell her all of us here, including the Don, sent you.
And a dog gonna get hit in the head with a rolled up newspaper again.
I'm gonna make a I'm going to make a request here.
Okay.
And it's to my Golden State Warriors. Kick the Suns' ass. All right. Steph was held to only 3 points in the defensive masterpiece by Houston. Give them their props.
Yeah, it's Houston.
Go into Phoenix. They're barely hanging on by a thread when it comes to playoffs. I want y'all to go in there and whoop their ass. Now, with that off my chest, somebody's waiting for us.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic black. I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.
Let's turn this back into a Tuesday tradition on Snowman in the Morning. Please help me welcome a fan of the national champs, a Gator fan, a Rams fan, and a very dear friend. He's the playmaker, Darnell Sollins.
That's the man that Undercover Brother takes notes from.
And before and playmaker, before you say anything, if y'all haven't checked out his programming, Ramley Talk, which I am very much a fan of. Shooting Lights Out.
Yes.
I encourage you guys to check out the Playmaker's work.
You heard I demand it.
I demanded too. Because the first time, and I'm throwing a lot of flowers at the Playmaker, first of all, for being there for me and my family when I was going through cancer. Playmaker was one of the first people to comment on my post. I'm going to start crying. The week of my surgery, when everybody was commenting on it, Playmaker was one of the first ones up there. So Playmaker, my brother, I love you. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for sticking with this show. And thanks for sticking with Snowman Multimedia. We here truly appreciate you.
I mean, if it wasn't for Snowman in the morning, a lot of people wouldn't have known who I was when I went to New Orleans for the Super Bowl. So,
right.
So people know my voice from being on this program.
So I will say this confidently. We will see you in Santa Clara. I will say this. Look, I've tried for the last 2 years to get to the Super Bowl, Las Vegas, and then New Orleans. And each of the last 2 years, something has come up with my health, and I couldn't make the trip. I couldn't get my credential request in time. So I need the Playmaker to lend us an assist, Deb Whitkus, because I want to host my crew at Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. That's why I'm saying this with confidence. Playmaker, brother, I love you, and we will see you next February in Santa Clara. Period.
All right.
Yeah. Man. First and foremost, Victor, you ain't off the hook. Where were you yesterday?
I actually put my I will say this. I put my my phone on to your program, and it said you were live in 30 minutes. And then I pulled the Snowman and passed out. So I was on, I just didn't comment. By the time I looked, I'm like, wait, did it go in? It said, thanks for tuning in. Oh God, Greg and me I'm gonna get clown for that.
You know what? You know how many times I've been clowned for that by my crew here, folks. For those who don't know, like I said, been through cancer, and my body is just all kinds of upside.
You have a reason. You've been through
Right.
hell. Okay, so when you fall asleep, we understand.
When I get done with work and I lay down, I said I'm gonna be checking into Shooting Lights Out, and the notification said Playmaker will be on in 30 minutes. Okay, cool. I got 30 minutes. Put it on, and then I passed out, and I woke up like, wait. Thanks to it. Oh God dang it. Okay. So I didn't get a chance to say nothing.
You missed everything. Cole Johnson was in
rare
form.
And I listened to the
he was. Cole, I caught the replay. Cole was definitely in rare form.
And the thing is, I listened to the to the replay again. So I was like, man, I didn't get a chance to like comment or nothing, but
you know what's?
I'll make sure that won't happen again.
You know what's crazy? I don't know how sometimes I catch the Shooting Lights Out podcast, the Shooting Lights Out show, which I want to carry on my network, audibly and visibly. But there are some days, like Victor, I am just so exhausted. All right. And I too am guilty of this. Get the notification for Shooting Lights Out or for Ramley Talk, especially when our teams play each other. And I said, okay, I'm going to listen. I'm going to see what the Playmaker says and what kind of craziness I can use against him.
The Rams versus that team in Santa Clara.
Listen, you know what?
Hey, to be honest, I was actually respectful this past season.
Yeah. I listen. Whenever the Niners and Rams play, that is when I look forward to Ramley Talk. And I'm bringing back that 49ers show. And Playmaker, I want you to be a part of it, especially for those game previews. Listen, the first time he said that team in Santa Clara, I fell out laughing. My wife comes into my office and she says, "What are you laughing at?" So I queued up the part where Playmaker says, "That damn team in Santa Clara." Jody walks out laughing. We were staying there with my in-laws at the time. I can hear her laughing going downstairs. It's great, and it's so much.
It's just like Kenny Smith. He can't say Duke. He has to say that
Right.
team from Durham.
Yes,
right,
exactly. That's and that kind of heightened our friendship because I love going back and forth with Playmaker, but he is such a wonderful artist and a wonderful podcaster, and I appreciate you, Playmaker. We all appreciate you so very much, and I'm hoping soon you can come back and start being a weekly part of this program. We appreciate you.
Steve may have more talent. He be Playmaker.
Hey, look. Hey, hey, man. I've been blessed to do the stuff that I've been able to do. I've been blessed. So
I'll tell you what really made me laugh. The first year I started listening to Ramley Talk, I think it was 21. It was 2021. And it was right after the last game of the year. I'm waiting for that episode to drop. And I knew the day it was going to drop. My wife comes in and she says, "What are you waiting for?" "I'm waiting for my friend's podcast, Ramley Talk." She was like, "Ramley Talk?" I said, "Yeah, his favorite team is the Rams. So he does a weekly show on Ramley Talk." When that dropped, and I hear Playmaker with his teeth together. I swear to God, his teeth was together like this. His teeth was gritting, and he says, "I gotta talk about this damn game." I'm sitting there, I'm giggling, but I knew something else was coming. He goes over the stats, who did what. And then all of a sudden, I hear Playmaker say, "There's one player. That damn Deebo Samuel got us again."
Victor, remember it was that Monday night game when Jimmy G basically threw a pick, but Deebo jumped got there and high and caught the ball
picked it back.
And once he caught that ball, it wasn't nobody around. He was gone. I'm like,
that reminds me of Pizzle talking about the Bills Dolphins game that one time.
Oh my Lord.
And I kid you not, the very next morning, Snowman's like, if it weren't for Deebo, we probably not would have won that game.
Right?
Because Jimmy G literally, that was a pick.
That was a pick. Indeed. I agree.
That was an interception.
I totally agree. That was a pick six. When Jimmy threw that ball, I was scared as hell.
One thing I absolutely love about Playmaker was when he was on the show like every Tuesday, which I hope he does again.
Me too.
You knew a hot seat was coming. Every single time a hot seat was coming.
No,
Someone was getting cooked.
What you don't know is the fact that Cole Johnson will message me. He's like, "You better have one." I'm like, "Now I gotta go find something."
Right.
And sure enough, when I don't have one, I just look at the TV. Oh, there you go. Oh, there go my hot seat right there. All right. Cole messes me like, "You better get." I'm like, "Bruh, I'm at work. I don't even know what's going on right now."
Right. And what makes it even more fun, Playmaker would message me and just say, "Get the hot seat ready." Mm-hmm. I don't know who he was going to roast, who he was going to rip, or anything like that. And then he would come on. We get the hot seat ready, and then Playmaker would just go cuckoo. He would go completely off.
Yep.
So I ask you, Playmaker, do you have a legendary hot seat for us this morning?
To be honest, to be quite honest, I can have plenty of hot seats, but I'm not going to do it.
Uh-oh.
Because I have other shows I can do that on. Because
can you just give us one here for old time's sake?
I can give you one.
Sweet.
Here we go.
All right. Whenever you hit that button, you'll let me know.
Cue up the fire.
Here we go, folks. A legend is back. All yours, sir.
I'm gonna bring in something from Monarchs of Wrestling. There's a certain group of people that are titled the IWC, as Bully Ray would call them on Busted Open. Why would I pick this group? Well, you know why I want to pick this group. Number one, how many years did you ask for John Cena to turn heel? How many years have we been asking for John Cena to,
since 2005, I think?
Yeah.
To embrace the hate.
To embrace the hate. Yep.
Yes.
Shout out to Kane.
Mayor Kane.
So he turns heel. He joins The Rock. Okay. Then you don't get no changing gear. You don't get no changing music. You get the same John Cena. And y'all hate it. But when he does the promo, he says, you don't get new gear because you want new gear. I don't dress like you. It is dressed like me.
Yeah.
John, you're right.
Yep.
I can't argue that.
Yep.
You don't get new music because you want new music. That is my voice on that soundtrack. Okay, John, I can't argue with that either. That is your music, so I can't argue with that one either.
Right.
But the IWC, this turn sucks. He's a heel. He's not supposed to do what y'all want him to do. You idiot.
Right.
Exactly. And the thing is that
isn't that what they wanted?
Everything that John has been saying in every of his promos, you can't knock it. You can't say that's not
you
true.
Can't. You can't argue against it. It's like
you can't.
You can't.
John,
you can't.
And then he says y'all made him a butt of a joke for 25 years, which is still going on, but y'all don't get it.
I mean, you can't see anything has been used in every. When you have MJF using it in AEW, you got guys using it in AEW and TNA.
And TNA, yep.
But y'all hate this heel turn. I bring that up to bring this up because I said it on Monarchs of Wrestling for quite some time. And Cool McCain will vouch for me. Y'all gonna mess around. Y'all gonna force Bianca Belair to turn heel. And when she turn heel, y'all gonna hate it. You know why? Because she gonna be on one a la like John Cena.
Yes.
And I don't understand that hate. I don't understand the hate for Bianca. I mean,
me neither.
Anything, you just had Naomi turn heel with the Jade Cargill situation. What y'all mad at Bianca for? What was Bianca supposed to do? She was stuck in the pot anyway.
Yep.
They want to believe that it was Bianca Belair that was the mastermind of the whole thing.
Oh,
I can tell you she was not the mastermind of the whole thing.
No.
I can tell you who was supposed to be behind it, but they're not going that route. That's why they threw her in a different storyline.
What was supposed to be Bailey?
Bailey.
Yeah. But they went to the well with Bailey as a heel already, and they already got her kind of on a babyface run now.
Because for those of you who don't know, I'm a wrestling fan. I connect dots. This is what I like. I like to connect the dots. So like, what we got going on here?
Yes, sir.
If you go back and listen, when Jade Cargill first got taken out, I was like, Naomi and Baylor are the first two there to see Jade get put into the ambulance while Bianca's running back to see what's going on with her friend.
Right.
Which, by the way, was part of a United States tournament to be crowned the first ever United States Women's Champion.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I know WWE like I think I know WWE, the fact that Naomi and Baylor are the first two at the scene, I feel some type of way.
Well, as soon as I saw Naomi, I was like, okay, someone tell me they're gonna turn Naomi because they've been teasing it for a minute because Naomi has almost always been a babyface, except for that one time in Team Bad. Other than that, she's always been a babyface, and that kind of got stale.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, and matter of fact, remember this was going into War Games.
Yeah,
Bianca's team is down to member already.
Right.
Well, should I say Rhea's team because Rhea was the leader of that team.
Yep.
To be honest, I'm like, okay, we already knew Naomi was in there because Naomi's been the one that's, I got y'all, I got my girls back no matter what. Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Who got that final spot? Oh, Bailey. Really?
Yep.
Bailey. And we already know Bailey and Bianca have history of not, because Bianca don't trust Bailey after what she did to her.
Yep.
Oh,
and Bailey,
hell no.
And Bailey had issues with EO too.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking like, very interesting that y'all chose Bailey.
Okay. Right.
I don't know what the hell Triple H is cooking on this one.
It's not Triple H, it's the fans.
That knows. Well, and
the fans are I truly believe the original plan was Bailey and Naomi because they are best friends.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
There was no coincidence that them two was the first one at the scene of the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But the fans have turned on Bianca out of nowhere.
I mean, they're making her out to be the villain in all this when it was Naomi that screwed over Jade.
I wonder, is it because like they really like Rhea? Because
yes,
like a lot of people.
Dude, Rhea is that blanking over right now.
And the crazy thing is, here's the funny thing, and this is why I'm going at the IWC crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When Rhea lost the World Heavyweight Championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is she the one doing the heel tendencies and not Bianca? But everybody's like, "Oh, Bianca was playing the heel." How?
I'm confused.
Bianca's not playing no heel. What the hell are they on?
I don't know.
Bianca was encouraging EO to get into the ring like everybody else because we do not want to see a count out victory.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, Rhea, when did Rhea ever want to get a count out victory anyway?
Never. Never.
No, she usually tosses them back in and says, "Go pick yourself."
Her whole thing is that she wants to beat them hands down. She want to beat them straight up.
She wants to get the finish.
But she's mad at Bianca for trying to encourage you. Get in the ring before you get counted out. I'm
like what's happening here?
What is going on? What? Hold on, wait a minute. Why is Rhea worrying about EO making the 10 count?
No, the thing about it is also how much is this dealing with the fact of moving to Netflix? Have these storylines changed?
It's been completely off kilter.
I can see where you asked that at. So now I'm like, okay.
Judgment Day don't make no sense no more. I don't
like,
know what they do.
Judgment Day ain't made a lick of sense since they both got rid of Rhea and doggone Priest.
Yep.
So now my thing is this. Now let's go to what happened. I didn't see Raw yesterday. I will be watching Raw today. Trust me, I will be. Let's go back to the previous Raw.
Okay.
Bianca getting put in a situation that she's never been put in before. She's the best guest referee for this title match. She literally gets to decide who faces her at WrestleMania.
Right.
I didn't see any heel tendencies coming from Bianca Belair. She didn't tip her hand or what she was doing. Well, she got kicked in the face by Rhea. Okay, she let that one slide. And then she get kicked in the face by EO. And she says, you know what? I'm done.
You both done kicked me in the face. I'm out.
I'm done.
And then the thing is, Pierce said earlier today, he was like, earlier in the Raw, he was like, "Yeah, I put Bianca Belair in a special guest referee role, but I was under the impression that you guys would be professional." I'm like, you saw her basically do her job up to the point where she got kicked twice.
And guess what? You know what's the cherry on top of all this? You can hear Michael Cole saying, "I don't blame her."
Right?
No. I mean, come on. Both Rhea and EO kicked her in the grill twice.
She didn't put her hands on them. She didn't fight back. She just did what any other rep did. Nope.
Here's the thing. All this stuff is making Rhea look worse. All this stuff is making Rhea look worse.
Yeah, doggone Bianca did what any other special guest ref would do in the position she was in at certain times, and that's pull the wrestlers off of each other.
Yes.
And anyone would do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, IWC, you keep on. Cause you're gonna end up getting another heel turn, and you're not gonna like. And this one, you're not gonna like even more than John Cena. Because when Bianca goes in, oh, y'all gonna hate every single bit of it.
Oh,
and
dude,
it's actually y'all fault why she turned heel.
Dude, Bianca's due to turn heel. Look at the fact that Montez is.
They're not even heel.
Well, what the hell are the Street Profits?
They just came with an attitude now. more so the Dawkins, because that's what we needed to see with the attitude. We already knew Montez had attitude. We needed Dawkins to come with the attitude. He's come with the attitude now. Now is there we go. That's what we needed right there.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, the IWC gonna mess around. They're gonna give the fans something they really don't want.
And then
what they always say: be careful what you ask for. Because you just might get it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the IWC is they're gonna bitch over anything anyway, so it doesn't matter what they get. They're gonna bitch over it, no matter what.
And this is why I hate this particular group.
How do you think I feel?
I'm like, why is y'all trying to force this woman to turn heel? She ain't doing nothing wrong. There's no evidence or she had anything to do with the Jade Cargill attack. Matter of fact, she was in a tournament trying to become the first ever United States Women's Champion until her partner got thrown on top of her car. Y'all tried to blame her throughout the entire thing. When Naomi said what she said, that she was the one that did it, and she did it for Bianca, and Bianca don't understand, y'all still try to blame Bianca for it. I'm like, it's clear as day Bianca had nothing to do with it. Why would you act that emotional if you had nothing to do with it?
Well, I hate to tell you something. The IWC believes in Steiner math.
Oh God!
Like, let's go back. Think about that whole entire segment between Naomi and Bianca. I was like, I was like, man, I ain't gonna say I hate the segment. I love the segment, but I'm like, it's one of them segments that you love, but it's like, man, I wish it didn't have to come to this.
You love it, but why did it come to this?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like, why? Like, really? Why? And then everybody else is still believe that Bianca did it. I'm like, okay, y'all keep on.
You know, she admitted it, right?
Oh, y'all keep on. When Bianca turn here, I'm gonna be front and center for it. I'm gonna love every minute of it. I'm like, this is what y'all get. Y'all deserve everything you get. That's like what John Cena is doing to y'all. Y'all deserve everything y'all getting from John Cena. And here's the thing: John Cena never made it about Kobe. It is all about the fans. I was like, John's throwing it back in their face. I actually like this.
Yep.
Dude,
I actually like this. He's throwing it back at their face.
I remember watching John flipping at Chamber, and I was like, you guys finally get, and I'm talking about the idiot IWC fans, y'all finally get what you want. How long before you take to Twitter to harp about it?
And then
20 seconds later.
3.5 seconds.
The crazy thing about the whole thing is that it all goes back to a Daniel Bryan promo that he made years ago about how the fans are fickle.
Fickle.
He's absolutely right.
Yes, they are, because it is ridiculous. I'm like, can y'all make up y'all freaking mind?
No.
Can y'all make up y'all freaking mind? How y'all want somebody to turn heel and don't like how they turn heel?
Right.
The IWC is more indecisive than a 3-year-old.
They're like, we want this, we don't want that.
No, that's not the way we wanted it done. You don't get to choose how it gets done.
The IWC is more indecisive than Mac Jones under center.
The IWC is more indecisive than LeBron James.
Then y'all say John Cena's promos doesn't hit. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it does.
Because you know why? You know why you feel that way? Because it's smacking you in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it don't hit because he's telling the truth about us.
And what's crazy?
Well, then what the hell do you expect?
The craziest thing was when he actually went at a kid, and they were like, "How dare he go at a child?" I'm like,
and yet that kid is posted everywhere.
Yep.
For a whole week.
Kid is a damn meme now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you guys asked for. You want the heel turn to the point where he actually made a joke about a heel turn and actually turning his foot.
And now that it's happened, people are pissy about it.
He even said, "I'm not a heel. I'm not a babyface. I'm a human being.
I'm not your monkey."
And yet he's being treated like one.
I'm like, y'all y'all tripping.
John's like, I don't care anymore.
Dude, like I said, the IWC believes in Steiner math. Do we expect anything different out of them?
And unfortunately, unfortunately, and they can hate me for this. I'm putting the cap on Chicago.
Please do.
Because what y'all did to Charlotte.
Please do.
I don't care for everybody to say, "Oh, Tiffany cut Charlotte." No, Chicago cut Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and watch. Chicago did not want to hear from Charlotte at all.
Well, Charlotte's not the best promo. She never has.
I said, wait a minute. I've never seen a crowd do this to Charlotte.
Dude, Charlotte would get away with saying less, but be more to the point.
Right.
He tries to go long-winded like her dad, and it backfires. And then we get the train wrecks.
Chicago wanted to outdo the European crowd so bad, so they chose Charlotte to do it on.
And boy, did they ever.
I'm gonna say this. This may not be popular, but I hope they never do another European tour. Because I understand you love these individuals, but do you have to sing every theme?
I mean, that's actually the European countries.
Dude, that's Euro. That's Europe in general, man.
That's Europe. That's Europe.
Have you seen them?
We don't. I know we're not used to it here, but if you actually watch the soccer games or the other events that they do, that's what they do.
Let me tell Agent Zero. I was about to mention that. Have you seen them during Premier Soccer games?
Fair enough. I'm just like, okay, I'm used to you guys.
I know. I'm telling you, I have no problem with it because that's what Europe does. That's what Europe does. They stay true to what they are.
And that's the thing is with the European crowds. When I was watching those shows, I was like, okay, how crazy are they going to get this time? And they just keep outdoing each other and just keeping the flow going.
So when they finally got back to the stage, Chicago
tried to up the ante.
They tried to up the ante and they messed around and they did something that no other city has tried to do to Charlotte.
And you know who else they tried to do? They're trying to turn Seth Rollins heel too.
Seth Rollins is anti. What are we talking about here?
Mm-hmm.
So
they try to turn him heel too because, and I'm like, again, y'all may like Punk, but Seth is not lying to you.
No, he's not, and that's the damn thing.
The whole world loves Punk.
Too many promos have come out about when CM Punk left the WWE that he cut ties with a lot of people that were still there.
He did.
I'm like,
they still didn't stop. They still didn't stop the fans from chanting his name for 10 whole years.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where they go, no matter what they would be doing, there would at least be 2 to 3 CM Punk chants per show.
Oh my god!
And it was like 5 to 6 during PLEs.
Chicago was nuts.
Dude, Chicago was the biggest one for it.
Chicago was nuts whenever they came to Chicago while CM Punk was gone. Everyone chanted CM Punk. Everyone.
I am surprised Chicago was still, dude. I'm surprised Chicago was still standing after Survivor Series when Punk actually returned.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that wherever they held Survivor Series in Chicago is still standing.
It was the new house, dude. It was the new house.
It was the UC.
It was the UC.
That was the shocker of all shockers because nobody expected him to return.
I mean, the fact that Randy Orton basically came in, wrecked house for 6 minutes, and then everyone's like, okay, cool, Randy's back. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, cue Cult of Personality. Holy shit!
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, no, they're trolling. I'm like,
and then here comes
really there.
Punk strolling out, and it's like, oh my god.
And you look at because they queued back to Seth, and Seth was like ballistic.
Dude, Corey Graves and Michael Cole had to hold Seth back.
Yes.
Post show.
Yeah, and Corey already had his own beef with Punk too.
Exactly.
It is this the IWC? I'm gonna need y'all to shut up,
please.
For once.
Please.
Shut up.
God,
because y'all is doing way too much.
Playmaker, I think I got the right button when it comes down to the IWC. If I can find where it disappeared to. Oh, here we go.
Shut up, bitch.
I have a button of my own for the IWC, and it goes like this.
So I realized that I think, even though it's not advertised,
right,
there has to be a place for stupid people. We don't know because we're not stupid, so we don't know anything about it. It's like a secret club society.
Oh my gosh.
So I come to the conclusion that he graduated from SU, stupid university. Yeah, and all the stupid ass letters that go along with graduating, high honors of being stupid. I can't do no more, man.
Vámonos, dominos, vámonos. Stupid university, where everyone graduates. Magna cum stupid.
Pretty much.
I gotta get into more Monarchs of Wrestling because I love this. I love this so doggone much.
I mean,
trust me. Like me and Cool, we be like, bro, I don't know what's wrong with these people.
I mean, the fact is there are a few people in the IWC that have more than 2 brain cells to rub together. I know a handful of them, including one on YouTube, the Demon Diva herself, that is actually part of the media circle.
Yep.
So, I mean, outside of like what 3% of the IWC, they're all idiots.
You got a question, like, they're surprised when these people start to like lash out. They see surprised. They're like, well, why Bianca so mad? What did we ever do? Really?
Bitch,
y'all want to be there?
Like, do you want to go back and watch the show and see what happened?
Right.
You get those questions, you're like, bitch, look in the mirror. Look at what you did.
And because of the IWC, that's how Jade and Bianca start beefing on X. I'm like, why is my 2 girls beefing on X? This is not what I need right now.
Right.
I mean,
like, why are y'all getting mad at each other? What is happening
What
here?
the hell happened?
Yeah, literally, what happened?
You had
exactly. What happened?
You had a great moment because when Naomi let loose, I'm like, oh, I can feel this. She's letting go of frustration because ever since she came back, she was the champion at TNA.
Yep.
Came back to be the
and hasn't done jack,
and nothing's happened with her except for what one or 2 tag team runs.
Yeah, basically.
That's it.
Yeah, and that was
put the title on her.
And one of those tag team runs came to an abrupt end when Sasha got a hair across her ass.
Right.
See, it would have been fine with the whole hair ton of Naomi.
Yeah.
But the fact that the IWC is like Bianca's behind it. What have y'all seen to say Bianca was behind this?
Jade and Bianca have been basically like sisters ever since Jade came into it. Now I know what they want. They want Jade versus Bianca. That's what they really want.
Too, but I'm like, hey, can we stay focused here? We finna get Rhea and Bianca before they decide to throw Io Sky in the whole mix. Which
I mean, the fact of the matter is, what type of MJF sunglasses is the IWC wearing when it comes down to this stuff?
I have no idea.
I'm like, okay, cool, great. You can put Jade and Bianca on the back burner for right now. I just want to focus on Bianca and Rhea. That's the mess that we've been wanting for the entire time.
Right.
We finally get it. And this is where Triple H comes in. Back to your original question, Shane, about Triple H. He decided to throw Io in. I'm like, no, I don't want Io in this.
Well, they got to do something for the championship.
I'm like,
but you
remember, Rhea was the champion.
Rhea was the champion.
Yeah.
And you should have had just at that, have Bianca win at the chamber and have Bianca and Rhea go at it because they've been waiting for that ever since the beginning. You know, it's like
we finally about to get it. It's right here.
Now the thing about it is, look how fast originally they were building it up just to be Io versus Bianca. And then the IWC starts harping about things, and within 2 weeks, Mommy's thrown into the mix.
See, here's the thing. I knew what was going to happen. I was like, oh, you know what? since EO won the title, now it's going to be a triple threat match.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I knew it soon from the beginning. I was like, it's going to be a triple threat match because EO won.
And
they just had to put EO in here.
And it seems like ever since WrestleMania 20, that has been their go-to.
Oh, and by the way, another thing for the IWC.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
Shut up when it comes to Jey Uso.
Oh, my God.
Jey Uso is not the reason why WrestleMania is not sold out. Do you see what is being placed at?
No.
It's in the Death Star.
Las Vegas.
It's in the Death Star.
And they can't sell out when the team is there to begin with.
Ain't that the truth?
It's in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. And do you see them ticket prices?
I'm gonna say,
oh God,
I haven't seen ticket prices that high since Formula One was there back last fall.
But think
I
about
haven't
this:
seen
it's
ticket
not
prices
just
that high since Super Bowl 58.
think about it's not just the ticket prices though. Think about all the stuff you need to have. You gotta, if you coming from out of state, you either driving or you're flying.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get hotels. Hotel
There's about $1,000.
Yep. Especially you're gonna be on the strip.
That's
then
2,000.
you get the tickets. More like you're probably gonna get the fan pass.
There's
fan
about
access.
$3,500.
So you're gonna be there early, getting a chance to. You looking at probably about maybe $10K.
Yeah,
for
Easily.
2 days.
And that's on the low end.
For 2 days, $10,000 for 2 days,
and that's on the low end.
So yeah, IWC. Know your role and shut your mouth.
Love it. Love it.
As The Rock would. As The Rock would say,
Mr. Playmaker, you need to come back each Tuesday, sir.
Yes.
Please.
As The Rock would say to the IWC, know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
And on that, we're at halftime. That was an incredible segment.
Yes, it was.
Incredible.
Bring your ass back, Playmaker. Bring your ass back.
You want the hot seat, so I said I might as well bring in wrestling somehow.
Can you please? Is there a way we can work out where you can come on every Tuesday like we did before? Or is it dependent on the time?
It's up in the air.
It's up in the air.
It is up in the air.
We'll make it happen.
So if can we lock in like the second half of hour one? At least try it, please. I beg of you.
I can't say because I got things coming.
Man,
so I can't.
You know how secret agents do their thing, man. Agent Zero got you got to do, man.
Dude, why are you playing the great ones? They move in silence.
Yes,
that's
yes,
true.
they do. Yes, they do. Because there's a few things coming on top here. One of which I already said with the school that I'm covering, and there's a second school in the works. Let me let you get out of here, Playmaker. We love you, brother.
My Gators did their thing. They flipped the script on Houston.
They sure did.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. Defense wins championships.
Defense wins championships.
And the first program, 3 football titles, 3 basketball titles.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's crazy.
Adore it. Absolutely adore it. Thank you, Playmaker. We love you. We'll see you next time, man.
Take care, man.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic, but I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.
Beginning next week, we'll put a full court press on the NFL draft and what teams need. We're at halftime. which means, well, it'll be a short halftime because when we come back, we're going to talk through some things like we had planned to do, and then Playmaker showed up, and the rest is history.
Here we go.
Our halftime break. Snowman in the morning, back at the deuce.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
My beautiful wife bringing us back from break.
So now I'm mad myself all over again. I'm mad myself all over again. Had my phone on notification, waiting for.
And yeah,
I'm like, okay, 30 minutes. I can wait 30 minutes,
mm-hmm.
and then tune in. 2 hours later,
right?
Been there.
Done
All
that.
right, we got someone very, very special standing by.
All right.
Let's play a little mic to mic, and we're going out east to my good friend John Leahy. He's here right now. Big John, how are you, man?
Hey, Brian. Great to see you. Great to hear you. Big fan of yours, as you know, and I'm privileged to have the chance to chat with you today.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. John and I connected a long time ago. I had a lot of personal turbulence going on. I was living in LaPorte, Indiana at the time, and he caught one of my games. And I'll never forget. He just said, "How do you keep your head together with everything that's going on?" And I still have the same answer to this day, man. I don't know. But that's one of the things that John and I connected on. And I just want to ask you, how do you keep your head together when you keep such a busy schedule?
It's just I live by the philosophy of one day at a time, Brian. I live I guess you could call it day tight compartments. I live an hour at a time. Just just focus on what I got to do on a daily basis, and the rest will take care of itself, whether that's sportscasting or whether that's life in general. And it's advice that's kind of helped me down the road, and I still live by it. So that's how I keep my sanity, I guess. That and playing the ukulele a little bit, that helps. That helps too.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. How was your season this year?
I just finished my first year with UMass Lowell and my 20th year in Hockey East. It was a very, very great season. We finished 500, actually. Started off real good in the first half. Took a trip out to California to Palm Springs to work in a tournament out there. Came home, and it was kind of rough sledding in the second half. But getting back to radio again, Brian, was really exciting for me to have the chance to travel again. I spent a couple of years doing games on ESPN Plus, which I'm always grateful for that opportunity as well. But you know how it is, Brian. You're a radio guy at heart, and you want to get back into doing the radio stuff. And I'm fortunate it worked out that way.
I'm so fortunate and so glad to hear you back on the radio. You said it best, and we both live this way. Radio rats at heart. As I told you, as we got to know each other, Jim Durham is the reason I got in broadcasting, because I heard his voice call a Bulls game on the radio, and this is before the simulcast era. And I said, if he can do it, I can do it. And then later on that year, 1985, I heard the voice of Wayne Larrabee, who has been on this program. Who are the voices that have inspired you to get into sport, to get into radio play-by-play?
Well, for me, it started in 1971 when I was a 7-year-old kid. I always wanted to be Fred Cusick, who was the television voice of the Boston Bruins. I had a chance to meet Fred twice. He was such a great role model for me. And, of course, on the radio side, we had Bob Wilson here doing the play-by-play. And those guys really shaped my love for play-by-play. Here in Boston, we had a lot of great Hall of Fame announcers, too. We had Gil Santos doing the Patriots games. We had the great Johnny Most doing Celtic games.
Oh, yeah.
And the Red Sox, man, they've had great announcers for years. But, also, I spent my Friday nights with an AM radio by my bed. And this was long before the internet came around. I'd go up the dial and listen to every single game I could get my ears on.
Yes.
And so I got a chance to tune into KMOX in St. Louis on a clear night, WJR in Detroit.
Yep.
Even the Chicago station, which I think was WCFL back then, 1000 AM on the radio dial.
Yep.
Ron Oakes was doing the Blackhawk games when I was growing up. So, now you can listen to anything, anywhere. But I think I started similar to the way a lot of other people did, by tuning up and down the dial.
Man, I like I said, and people know who did it for me. It was Jim Durham. And I became such a fan of Jim Durham and how he does basketball play-by-play. Shocked the daylights out of me to realize that part of his career started with baseball down in Houston. And then he comes to Chicago in 85, blows my ears away. And like you, I had a radio next to my bed, especially when the Bulls go on the road to the West Coast, Portland, Los Angeles, Seattle. Any of those games, I tried my very hardest to catch, just so I can hear Jim Durham. Now, to the detriment of me, I got caught many times by my mother.
Oh yeah, we all did. I'm right with you, brother. I'm right with you.
I got caught by my. It is one night. I told the boys about this. I'm going to tell John about this. It was one night I was listening to a Bulls game. They were playing the Phoenix Suns. It was 1988. They were playing they were playing the Phoenix Suns. I have the radio simulcast in my ear, and I got the television in front of me because it was on WFLD for television. But I didn't want my mom to hear the television.
Right.
So I turned down the volume of the television, and I cranked up the audio broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my dad comes upstairs.
Right.
And he hears Jim Durham in my ear, and he just smiles and says, "How's the game going?" And
Wow.
I tell him what's going on. My mom, however, "Why aren't you asleep?"
Right. I had the same experience. I had a little black and white TV that I would smuggle under the covers. The Bruins would be playing the Flyers in the playoffs, and I was so scared my dad would come up and take it away, but he never did. He never did. So we're cut from the same cloth.
I tell you this one. I used to record a lot of Bulls games, and they on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how I would practice, I would just I would just try to repeat everything I heard on the tape.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the audio tapes that I had belonged to my mother.
Oh boy.
And she had music on that tape. And when she got her tape player back and heard Jim Durham and the Bulls,
oh no,
I was in deep trouble.
Yes, you were.
You recorded over her music, in other words.
Yes, you did.
Huh?
Yeah, right. Okay.
I hit the wrong button.
Okay.
And recorded over her music. Yeah. Oops.
And there's no way of getting
downstairs.
That back.
She goes downstairs, tells my dad, and I'm thinking, I'm dead. I'm a dead duck. I'm gonna get it. He comes upstairs and he yells so my mother can hear about me taking her tape recorder. And then he quietly slips me a brick about this high of audio tapes. And he says, use these in your own recorder, and I'll make sure your mom doesn't have this happen again.
Wow. That's great stuff.
Nice.
I had to hide the tapes, though, so my mom wouldn't see it.
Yeah, yeah.
But then came that fateful day, the year I graduated high school, 1990, and I thought I hid my tapes in a great place, under my sweatshirts.
Uh-oh.
One problem. I am the tallest member of my family, and I have the biggest sweatshirts. My mother, while listening to while listening to a Bulls game, they were playing a Sunday afternoon game. My mother says, "Can I borrow one of your sweatshirts?" Sure. Which drawer are they in? They're in the third drawer. Then it clicked. Uh-oh. My tapes are in there. Yikes! Didn't make it.
Oh, wow.
And she's smiling 2 feet deep, holding my brick of tapes that at the time all had Bulls games on there. But it's fun listening and doing radio play-by-play because it's up to you to paint the picture for the fans that are tuning in. What was the first piece of advice that you got that kind of, stuck in your head on how to do it and how to bring it to the fans?
Well, it started in broadcasting school, back in 1995 when I enrolled. And basically the first piece of advice I got was what you just said. When you're doing radio play-by-play, you're the eyes and the ears of your audience. It's your responsibility to, tell them what they can't see. And, you're like an artist painting on a canvas,
Yeah.
And Vin Scully was the best in the world at it when he was the Dodgers games back then.
Indeed.
So I was trained in radio. I was rooted in radio, and I got a lot of opportunities to get good at it. And I'm very grateful for the TV stuff too, because I wanted to do that for a long time, and that's wonderful as well. So, I feel like I've been able to touch on all the areas of play-by-play that needed to be touched on.
Yeah, I feel that way too. And I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud, but even after all the health issues I've been through in the last 3.5 years, August will start my 30th year doing sports.
That's awesome.
My 30th year. I've been mostly independent. I've done some games for ESPN Plus. I've done some games for Chicago State University, and I've been around this country just doing games independently for my own company. But 30 years.
And that's remarkable considering all the health challenges you've had. That's to stay with it, and I know how committed you are, and it's just wonderful. I salute you. I hit my 30th as well this year too, so
Congratulations.
It's a testament to loving what you do and sticking with it.
Yeah. Most of the games I've done were high school and small college games, and each year, even the COVID year, got a game in. Lately, I've been doing stuff in studio, warming the chops up to get back out there live. And I didn't think, and my wife told me something. She says, "Don't think that the games you're doing in studio does not count when it comes to your longevity."
Right. Absolutely.
When she said that, I cranked up the motor and kept going.
Yep.
Because they do count. It's the era we live in now. It's the 21st century version of the simulcast, is it not?
Absolutely. And I got to tell you, you just reminded me of something. We have a guy in our league in Hockey East. He suffers from MS, multiple sclerosis. So he gets around in a wheelchair. And, there are certain schools that he can't visit because the press box is not geared for people in wheelchairs. So he has to do a lot of games remotely. And, hey, he's got listeners all over the place. So, it counts. It really does.
It does. Yeah. I did games remotely for University of North Carolina, Greensboro 3 years ago. And when they called, I'm thinking, okay, this is a practical joke somewhere. But then he mentioned the person that referred me to him. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, I got to get prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back, and I'm barely out of surgery at the time I got the call for the games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
It's fun doing it. I want to talk about your book, Living on Air. It's your newest book. I want a copy of it signed.
Of course.
Tell everybody about Living on Air and how you came up with that idea to write that book.
Well, it really came out of the fact that I hit 2 milestones this year. We've already talked about hitting 30 years in the industry, but I turned 60 in November. So
beautiful.
It was a combination of these two things. I just sat down and said, I hit a milestone. I got some stories to tell, and I want those stories to be told. And with my dad passing away a couple of years ago due to Alzheimer's, he was a big inspiration to write the book as well. So it's career oriented. I got a lot of stories about broadcasting in there, but I got some family stories as well. It's basically a book about life lessons from 6 decades of living and 3 decades in the broadcast booth. So I think there'll be something in it for everybody, and that's what I'm hoping. So it's available anywhere you buy books now. So I'm pretty happy and excited about it.
It's a great book. Living on Air by John Leahy is the book y'all need to get. You can search for it on Amazon. Just search Living on Air by John Leahy, and you will have it. And John, it's such a pleasure to finally get you on the program. Finally to have you here. I hope you come back a lot, man. I love you, and thank you for all the support. I appreciate it over the past decade. I appreciate you.
Well, Brian, I'll tell you, you've been a real inspiration for me, the way you've been fighting through the challenges that you've had. I know we've had a friendship for a long time. We share the common love for the industry, and, you'll always be a good friend, and I look forward to staying in touch. And you're welcome on my podcast as well. You've already been on once, so
Yep.
I'd love to have you back on as well. So
Done.
I look forward to continuing our friendship, and thank you for having me on, and thanks for your support. I really appreciate you as well.
Always, my man. Always. You gotta love it. Let's take a break.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back, we're just gonna sit here and talk ish. Back in a minute.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code Snowman for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. Snowman in the morning, rolling along on this Taco Tuesday edition. We touched a little bit on the NBA. We'll get back to that probably before we get out of here. But I just want to spend some time talking with the boys just about any and everything. This is like our off the board kind of talk. And
well,
I'm gonna throw some love. Go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of that, during the mic to mic, Droid actually checked in and
good.
Yeah, he said we better be ready for Grilled Sports, his deal, or he's going to whoop our ass. And he also wanted me to call when I had the chance, so I guess he had something else he had to say.
Oh boy!
So let me see if I can actually make this work.
All right.
Oh boy!
While that's going on, I wanted to kind of touch on something that we talked about before we started.
What's that?
And it comes to Why don't people like you and I, Brian, why don't we talk about baseball anymore?
Well, we talk about baseball all the time.
I know you and I do personally.
But you're talking about why black people don't talk about baseball?
Yes, exactly.
Because in the black community, it's not popular anymore.
Why not?
The league is 70% black.
Right.
There are 70% black players and 70% European players.
Yeah.
Right.
In the game of baseball. You know why black people don't talk about it? You know what? I'm going to do it like this, but I'm going to keep the camera. I'm going to keep both cameras up because this is a conversation that needs to be had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is how we're going to address it.
I got Droid on the phone when you get done. He's currently listening in.
Okay.
I have been asked many times, and so has Victor, why black people do not like baseball or watching baseball or talking about baseball. The reasoning is very simple. To them, it's a long game, it's drawn out, and they have flat told me it's boring and it doesn't excite them. I said, do you know how much strategy is involved in the game of baseball? And the consensus answer would be nope, and we don't care.
So home runs are not exciting, triple plays are not exciting, suicide bunts are not exciting.
Suicide squeeze to walk off.
A perfect game is not exciting.
Perfect game. You know, the narrative is, and it's proving to be true, that the majority of black people do not like baseball for one reason or another, or they just simply don't like it. And as I pointed out just a moment ago, barely any excitement for them in the game of baseball. Man, I can't tell you how many baseball games I've watched over the course of 40 years. I remind myself the very first time I went to a White Sox game with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Dad and I were watching the game. Mom, my sister, and my cousin Jackie were doing something else.
Right.
They're doing something else. They're off in their own little world doing something else. Meanwhile, Dad and I are scoring the game. Greg Lazinski, Tony Bernazard, Ron Kittle wasn't there yet. Carlton Fisk, right?
Yeah.
Tom Paciorek, Greg Walker. And that was a year before the Winning Ugly season happened.
Right.
That was a year before the Winning Ugly season happened, which was 1983. And I went to plenty of games in 83. I just couldn't go to any of the last ones because by the time the White Sox were getting ready to clinch the division, they were 20 games ahead. They were selling out.
Right.
At Comiskey Park. And I knew it was going to be a good year in 83 when they had the All-Star game in Comiskey Park. And I got a special note about that in just a moment. But come on.
It's just crazy.
The
man.
Negro Leagues are being forgotten.
Yes.
And I hate it. Let me say that again. The advancement, the achievement, and the history of the Negro Leagues are being forgotten by our own people. And it's sad and it's a shame.
The work that they put down.
The work they put in. Right?
Right. Because
the work that they put in, what they've had to deal with. And Victor, you touched on this with what Jackie Robinson and Henry Aaron went through.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Being
called the wrong word.
Being called the N-word. Having rocks thrown at them. Beer bottles thrown at them.
Not to mention all the verbal insults they were getting.
Not to mention the death threats.
They still played.
And yet they still play because they wanted to participate.
They wanted to play. Matter of fact, today is April 8th, and it's a very, very special anniversary. Why, you ask? Because on this day in 1974 at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Henry Aaron cranked his 715th home run, putting him all alone at the time above Babe Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not supposed to know that because I'm black.
Right.
I'm only supposed to pay attention to basketball and football. This black man not only loves baseball, but also hockey. And yes, there are 2 black men on this program that love baseball and hockey. I haven't done that joke in a while.
But it's not just like within just like the regular fan base. It's also in media. You know,
you're not wrong.
I'm not gonna say names, but you also, you've worked with someone who clearly stated that no one talks about baseball.
Oh yeah, that guy. Well, guess what?
What in the all types of blue hell
are you talking about? Are you kidding? This guy flat told me when he was my producer while I was living in North Carolina that no one likes baseball. And he coupled it with no one talks about baseball. And to complete the triple play, he says, you can't talk about baseball on your program. Bitch, this is my program. And I'm going to talk about baseball. The day after he laid down that rule, Jay Spivey joined me for a pre-recorded conversation that lasted a good 45 minutes. You know what the subject was? Baseball. And lots of it. I call high school games. I call college games. In studio, I do major league games.
We did Little League, travel ball.
For many years, Vic and I did Little League for 7 years.
Yes. Baseball.
I had a blast doing it.
Here's the thing. Baseball, whether people want to believe it or not, is a sport.
It is.
We talk about sports.
Listen, my wife, and y'all have heard Jody make the joke all the time that baseball is not a sport, but I have to tell this story. She flat out told me she doesn't like baseball. She'll watch softball with me, but she doesn't like baseball because it's too long and it's too boring. Baby, I get it. But she also knows I'm a baseball fan.
Mm-hmm.
She also knows that one of my favorite teams is the Chicago White Sox. And my first favorite team was the St. Louis Cardinals.
Right.
When she returned from a trip from St. Louis, I'm sitting here. She says, babe, I got something to show you. I walk in and y'all have seen me wear it. There's a sweater of the St. Louis Cardinals waiting for me.
Mm-hmm.
I cried. And she immediately gets scared. She's like, I didn't mean to make you upset. And like, no, you didn't make me upset at all.
I'm happy.
In fact, you made me the happiest man on the planet for taking the time to remember that my first favorite team was the St. Louis Cardinals. You know how much shit my wife gives me every day when I repeat a call here in the house and I laugh every single time?
Yep.
Huh? You guys have heard Jody walk through this door.
Yep.
Hey, you're not calling a game right when it concerns the Colts. Y'all heard that. Y'all know how much shit Jody gives me on a daily basis. But you know the best part of us giving each other shit, no matter what it is? We both laugh.
Yep.
Out loud. Okay? To close this and to get back to the point, I'll tell you this story. My 51st birthday, Jody got me 3 things: a fact book, a hat, and a t-shirt. The common denominator, all Chicago White Sox.
Yep.
This from a woman
who does not like baseball.
Who does not like baseball. This from a woman who is not as big a sports nerd as I and follows all the sports like I do for a living. And yes, to the people who hate and keep hating on, I do this for a living.
Yep.
And that might be a DMS episode coming soon. But know this, I do this for a living. Which means I talk baseball for a living. I talk hockey for a living. I love watching those two sports. I had someone challenge me when it came to hockey saying, well, you can't name a black goalie. Grant Fuhr. First goalie I ever loved. My favorite White Sox player of all time, Frank Thomas. I've met some people in the White Sox organization, like John Rooney, when he was the voice at the time. I met him in 2005. I'll have to find that picture and show you guys. Like Gene Honda, the fabulous public address announcer of not only the White Sox, but also the Chicago Blackhawks. And about 50 other teams that use his voice. I mean, once upon a time, Gene Honda was the voice of the Final Four. But yet, I'm not supposed to know that. I'm not supposed to know that Frank Thomas hit his 400th home run against the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm not supposed to know what a slider is, a fastball, a curveball, a cutter, a sweeper, one of the newest pitches in the major leagues. I'm not supposed to know what all that looks like. And because I'm black, I'm not supposed to know how they all work. I'm not supposed to know or have the knowledge of some of the players that I do. I'm not supposed to have the knowledge of what happened in the Negro Leagues, even though it's been painted and stuck in my head for many, many moons. If I'm not supposed to know all that, then I say unto you, a whole lot of you, bitch. That's Snowman's take. What is yours? Thank you, Victor and Shane, for the assists. I truly, truly appreciate you guys.
No problem.
And I'm still sitting here with my arm basically hurting because
Droid, are you still around?
Great. I think either I'm on hold or something because he's not answering me.
No,
biggest.
All right. Yeah, I got him. Hang on.
All right.
Droid, speak your piece.
Yes, we can hear
Barely.
you.
Yeah, they got you, dude.
All right. I'm speaking my piece in this way. If y'all are not in this room by the time this show ends, I'm getting at you.
No, you're not. You'll have to catch me first.
You're not in this next studio by at least 12:05.
Get the link out. We'll be there.
It's in the group chat. It's in the group chat.
Okay.
Just.
I'll be there.
I got to deal with. And by the way, Droid.
Dear Droid. Shut up.
Shut up. Oh God! Now they're doing the Stone Cold what? What?
Oh gosh!
I think we need a break.
Back in the deuce.
God help me! Quit moving my damn buttons, Droid.
This is Snowman in the morning.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Stretch we come. Here on Snowman in the morning. Shane has to take care of a couple things. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay.
And why are people so stupid?
I have no idea.
When it comes to sports, and you and I both have dealt with very stupid
dumb fan bases.
We've dealt with very stupid people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what did Bill Langvall say? I hate stupid people.
Yeah. As you have a sign wearing "I'm stupid," that way you don't depend on them for anything.
I'm gonna tell you why I asked this question.
Okay.
When I was a driver for Enterprise back in Maryville, Indiana,
Maryville.
let's say 2010, I go pick up this young lady, and she was at a hotel, and in essence, I had to take her to the airport.
Right.
And I'm like, dear God. We got to talking about football.
Oh, no.
you know what's going to happen, right?
And the pitch.
Yep, here's the pitch. Yeah, here's a pitch. Start talking about football. She showed me a picture of the logo of my favorite team, which is the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, they were playing at Candlestick Park.
Mm-hmm.
Levi Stadium had not been built yet. It had been an idea, but it hadn't been built yet. So the Niners are still playing at Candlestick Park. I said, that's Candlestick Park, because the seats were kind of red.
Mm-hmm.
And I recognized the shape. She says, that's not Candlestick Park. Huh? You're going to tell me, a guy that's a football fan and has been a football fan for many moons and been a fan of the 49ers for many moons, that this is not Candlestick Park? She says, no, that's the Oakland Coliseum. What?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's one where you have to say the full question. What do you mean this is Oakland? Don't you notice the red seats? This is Candlestick Park. The following sentence were full of things that pissed me off.
Here we go.
Her following sentence, as I said, was full of things that pissed me off. When she said, quote, the 49ers never played at Candlestick Park. Close quote. Chris.
So I realized that I think, even though it's not advertised,
right,
there has to be a place for stupid people. We don't know because we're not stupid, so we don't know anything about it. It's like a secret club society.
Oh my gosh.
So I come to the conclusion that he graduated from SU, stupid university. Yeah, and all the stupid ass letters that go along with graduating high honors of being stupid. I can't do no more, man.
Vámonos, dominos, vámonos. Stupid university, where everyone graduates. Magna cum stupid.
So, this young lady not only said that what clearly was Candlestick Park was not Candlestick Park, but the Oakland Coliseum, but also doubled down and said the Niners never played in Candlestick Park, even though that was their home stadium for years.
I said, honey, look. The first stadium the Niners played in was Kezar Stadium. Then they moved, and before I could say anything, she interrupts me and she goes, they still play at Kezar Stadium. Are you bleeping kidding me? Are you bleeping kidding me?
Nope. Nope. No, she was not.
I'm like, well, how in the Vita Blue hell can you say with a straight damn face that they still play at Kezar Stadium, which has been knocked down to the ground, mind you?
Mm-hmm.
They've since blown the piss out of Kezar Stadium.
Right.
And I told her this. I said, look, Candlestick Park is their home. They're about to move to Santa Clara, but Candlestick Park is their home. This is after they played at Kezar Stadium. She looks me dead in the face and goes, you don't know what you're talking about. Now, about this time, I'm ready to do something I shouldn't do.
Oh, no.
But I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. I held on.
You held back.
I held back. And this was a 45-minute trip to the airport.
Oh, my
Dear
God. The longest trip in the world.
Longest trip of my life. Save any time I had to go to, through, and in Ohio.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Thank you, Lisa. She kept trying to tell me that the picture she showed me was not Candlestick Park, but of the Oakland Coliseum. I said, honey, that's not the Oakland Coliseum, and I can tell you 2 reasons. What's that? 1, the Oakland Coliseum is entirely circular, and 2, the seats in this stadium that you're showing me are red.
A color that the Oakland Athletics do not use.
The Oakland Raiders and the Oakland Athletics do not have red in their color base.
Right.
She waits.
That's not the Raiders. The Raiders are
are silver and black for life.
Black and silver, yes.
The next sentence I heard again was full of things that pissed me off.
Here we go again.
When she said, quote, the 49ers are still playing at the Coliseum.
No, they're not.
Lowe's quote.
The Niners are not playing at the Oakland Coliseum. Ma'am, you are wrong. Shut up.
You know what I did for about 5 minutes?
Breathe.
I shut the hell up and just breathed. I just breathed. I took it in, and I'm sitting here, and for a while,
it worked.
For a while. For a while, it worked.
Until.
As Bill Cosby said famously, until she showed me another picture.
Oh no.
She showed me another picture. She showed me another picture. Okay. I'm like, oh God. Here we go again. She showed me a picture of the 49ers playing the Lions when the end zones in Candlestick Park, because the Niners had made the playoffs, were painted red.
Right.
Let me say that again. The end zones at old Candlestick Park, whenever the Niners made the playoffs, they were painted red. And I'm like, wait a second. Oh, this is a playoff game. And said playoff game was from 1989/1990 against the Rams. As I said, the next sentence I heard was full of things that pissed me off. When she said, quote, that was not a playoff game. That was a regular season game. Close quote.
At this point, I don't care if I get fired. I'm stopping the car. Get out. Get out.
I did 2 things. I shut up and I breathed. I wanted to turn on some music. Didn't do it. I wanted to turn on sports radio. Didn't do that. I wanted silence. I couldn't wait for her to get the hell out of my car.
Like, get out. Get out. Get out. This is a quick point. Get out.
Mm-hmm. You said, I believe she was this.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YOKAY. Real LJPN. Now approve all this.
No, the sad part is you're probably right. I bet you she will show a picture of Michael Jordan And you're like, oh, that's Michael Jordan. She's like, no, that's LeBron James.
Man, don't put that thought in my head.
Get out. Get out.
Got to the airport, got her to the gate. Thanks for driving me here.
Get out. Get out.
Get the out of my car.
You get out.
Like out. Out. Get your bags out of the trunk. Get whatever bag you threw in this car.
Out.
And scram.
Out.
She got her things. She went in the airport. I don't care if I get a bad rating from her. I don't care.
Yeah.
With all that she was saying, I could only think,
like I said, the whole thing is get out.
The whole thing was get out.
Get out. This is a really low, angry tone too. Get out.
Because you don't want to raise your voice.
You don't raise your voice. You don't want to scream. Just like, get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. I have no patience for idiots.
None whatsoever.
So I was like,
when Victor had one, when we were doing youth baseball, we were doing youth baseball, and Victor had a complete idiot in his booth. And I'm going to do this one quickly.
Okay.
Victor looked at me, saw the team coming, and all he said was, "Please pray for me." I saw the team, and I'm going, "Oh no, this is going to be a 3-hour game. Son of a bitch." It wasn't. Thank the Lord. It wound up being a slaughter. But the person in the booth with Victor
wouldn't leave.
Would not shut up nor leave. I said, I better do something quick. One of the groundskeepers said, "Go help your friend. I got this." And watching my gear. I walked over to this woman and I said, "Are you bothering him?" She says, "Who are you?" "I'm one of the authorities here." That sentence was enough. And she took off.
She left.
And we're taking off too.
Yes,
tomorrow, more crazy stuff. And a deep dive into Major League Baseball and a more deep dive into the NBA and its standings as the playoffs close in. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. So long, everybody. Get out of my car and stay out. And don't you ever come back again.
And to those like Joel Embiid and James Harden, y'all still bitches. See ya.